Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We are back for another live stream. I did promise I will be back today. So I did say it was going to be a transfer show, but obviously things with the things today obviously have changed out there, so we're still going to talk about transfers, even though there's not really much to talk about in that regard. Unfortunately, at the moment, hopefully we can get some players in soon, but. So yeah, obviously we'll be reviewing the away kit, the new away kit for the new season coming up, of course. And you know, like I say, talking about looking at transfers and seeing any more developments there. But of course, we have to start with the news about Aaron Mooys' retirement today, which. Yeah, obviously, that's a legend around these parts. Will always be remembered here. And yeah, we're going to get into. Obviously, I'm going to share some of my favourite memories of him as well. Yeah, Thankyou, and yeah, like I say, I'd love to obviously hear from you in the chat as well about your favourite memories of Mooy. What stands out for you from him? You know, for him when he was with us. So yeah, get involved in the chat as always. It is always good to hear your contributions. We're going to get into the chat now and say hello to a few people. Hello there to Aidan, hope you're okay. Says this shirt, I'm questioning it. It might be now. I think it needs another to go with green. Another colour you mean to go with green, maybe. I think you mean. But this shirt reminds me of the Man United shirt last season. It's alright, but I'm questioning it though. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, we're going to get into it shortly, but yeah, I mean, I can't. I'm the same, but I'm not going to say too much just yet. But yeah, obviously, what is very much like the Man United shirt of last season, isn't it? As well, definitely. So big up for you for coming in. Chris is in. Well, one thing's for sure, this shirt won't be making an appearance down at home park on the up. I mean, it won't, will it? No, it won't. A kit clash, so we'll be either wearing our home shirt or the third kit. But I don't know when the third kit will get announced, but we'll see. I'm really intrigued to know what the third kit's gonna be like now, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Oris is in. Big up, Ryan. Please smash those likes and subscribe if you're new. Not really feeling this kit. Reminds me of the United kit last season. I mean, yeah, you're in the same boat as me, really. At the moment, I'm not going to say that, you know, I haven't seen it in person, so you know that sometimes in person it does look nicer. But yeah, obviously it is very similar to the Man United kit as well. So yeah, it's one of those. But thank you as always for showing your support, Forrest as well. Big up to Joseph. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hello there. One more year. I like what you did there, Craig. Brilliant stuff, mate. And welcome on in, by the way. But yeah, that is fantastic. I mean, you know, he's an out time, joking aside. But yeah, I mean, if it was to happen, then yeah. Third kit rumoured to be a mashup of black and purple, I believe. Really, black and purple? I mean, I can't. I'm just trying to picture it in my mind, maybe of what design it would be. But yeah, interesting. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't know when it's announced, but we'll have to wait and see when it is. But yeah, obviously we are going to start with the news that Aaron Mooys has retired. Obviously, yeah. I mean, I'm quite surprised actually, because obviously he's still only 32. And that's relatively young for a player to retire, really, isn't it? You know, unless they've had an injury issue, then usually players retire a bit later than that. So, but maybe he just felt like he's ready to retire. Obviously, maybe he only he knows his own body and what he can do. But I feel like he maybe had a few more good years left in him, potentially, but. It's yeah, one of those. But yeah, as we know, a very famous, you know, one of the greatest players for me anyway that I've ever seen wear a town shirt in Aaron Mooys. I mean, he was unbelievable. He had everything, didn't he? You know, and obviously he has retired from his current club, was Celtic, obviously. A very regular name in the Australian national team as well. And you know, if you look at his high points in his career, many of those came with us, didn't it? You know, obviously he joined in the summer of 2016 from to us, and helped obviously the club achieve promotion that year, and being named Town's Player of the Year in his first campaign too, and you know, he also became one of the first Town players in a long time to represent his nation in the World Cup, whilst contract the club in 2018. When he departed for Brighton and Hove Albion permanently in 2020, he had over 100 appearances for Town under his belt, 65 of those in the Premier League, and had scored 11 goals. Obviously, as we know, he was a central midfielder and with a special talent for keeping hold of possession. It was like it was glued to him, the ball, when he had possession. It really did feel like that. Obviously, crafting chances as well. Obviously, always had an eye for a pass, creating chances for his teammates. And yeah, like I said, for me, the greatest player that I've ever seen at the club, and an absolute legend. I think for me, we are going to get into this in a moment, but yeah, I'm just going to finish off what I'm saying. Moy was a guy that was very quiet, wasn't he? He came across a very quiet member of the team, I think, but he allowed his football to do the talking, and he certainly did that, didn't he? You know, like I say, his control as well. Like I say, his eye for a pass, always thinking quicker than his opponents to give him that advantage. And you know, we're going to get into my favourite memory of him very soon. So, post your favourite moments with Aaron Mooys in the chat in the township. What's the goalkeeper shirts like? I don't think the goalkeeper shirts have been announced yet, have they? I can't remember seeing any goalkeeper shirts yet been announced. I don't think they've been announced yet. So I'm not sure. Just apparently I saw I had a bad back injury. All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then I understand why he retired then. But yeah, it's one of those. Craig says, if the rumours of Dele Alli coming back to the UK along with Moy for another year would honestly be the best championship pairing it's ever seen, in my opinion. But even most probably won't happen. But imagine. I mean, it's certainly. You know, imagining it is quite exciting, but whether it happens or not is another thing. But yeah, obviously, that would be an absolute fantastic pairing. I agree. But yeah, it's one of those. I suppose it's a dream for that to happen at the moment, but things do happen in football that surprise you. So we just have to wait and see. But yeah, I like that. I've got that imagination in my head now of them two pairing up with each other in that midfield. What a dreamy midfield that would be in the centre of the park. But yeah, as I was saying, like I say, he scored many memorable goals over his time as well with the club. Obviously, we can't forget the goal that he scored against Leeds, the absolute thunderbolt. Certainly sticks in the memory for me. You know, obviously in our promotion season. Remember his goal against Wolves as well. Absolutely brilliant how he was able to find an angle to get it, to sneak it into the net, you know, from the free kick that he took. That was special. Obviously, Man United, he scored against Man United as well, remember. So that will always be a memory that we'll savour as well. And yeah, that was a special moment. But my favourite memory of him, and you know, this will always stick with me, is this moment where he, of course, in our promotion to the Premier League, this was our first home game of the season against Newcastle. Obviously, an absolutely incredible goal, great link-up play with Kachunga. Actually, looking back, obviously I watched it back on the goal cam because the club promoted it on their socials, and I still have goosebumps now because obviously it was the first top flight goal in 45 years in Huddersfield. But honestly, for me, I feel incredibly honoured and privileged to have been able to watch him play football week in, week out. It was a joy. It was an absolute joy. And yeah, obviously a few other memories. Obviously, yeah, like I said, that strike against Man United is there as well, and obviously just him on the ball, calm, composed, never. He never let anything. He never let anything like kind of overwhelm him. Like if there was players surrounding him, he'd find a way to get out of that position. He always found a way. He was always calm. It's just like they weren't even there, the players that was near him, and obviously a few other, and then of course him with his winners' medal when we got promoted, the Premier League, great smile on his face, and yeah, obviously for me, I wish him a happy retirement, of course, and I think that it'd be nice to see him back at the stadium. Of course, he's welcome anytime at the John Smiths. It'd be good to see him back at the stadium this season, maybe watching a game. And he knows that he doesn't need an invite. He's always welcome whenever he wants to come. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm sure Oris would have loved that goal against my... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Oris is one of those that will have just said, yeah, great goal. I can't take anything away from him. And so, despite it was against Man United, but yeah, what a player, absolutely. So yeah, my favourite memory of him was that first goal in the Premier League at home. That will always live long in the memory. But it's so hard to pick memories because he had so many of them, But for me, that was a really special one, in my opinion. One of the best midfielders in the last 10 years. I mean, I think he's the best midfielder I've ever seen. I don't think who else was better than before, because I can't think of anybody that it's so yeah. Like I say, thank you. I know you probably Aaron won't be watching, Murray won't be watching, but we always have to say thank you to him for everything he did for us. We're all so grateful of that, and we'll always remember these memories that he helped. He was a key part. The fact that we got promoted to the Premier League, he was a key part in that season, why we got promoted, and also then when we got to the Premier League, it looked like he'd been there for years. He didn't look out of place at all. He just unbelievable class. And what I will say as well is he's very professional. On and off the field, very professional in everything. So full credit to him. And like I say, whatever he decides to do next, obviously I wish him all the best with it, really. But yeah, obviously I did want to mention that to begin with. Obviously a very special player for us, yeah, I just wanted to pay my little tribute to him, and yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Joseph's goal versus Leeds was my favourite memory from. Yeah, well, it was a special goal, that one against Leeds, wasn't it? Absolutely. And I have the frame here of obviously the playoff final, and I'm just looking across now. I can see mine on the picture there, but yeah, that's a good memory, of course. Days, of course. So that is a nice one. But yeah, we are going to get into the main part of the show now. Then, obviously, the away kit announced. Of course, it was today. Let's have a look at the kit then. So here we are. This is our new away kit for the upcoming season. Now I'm going to go through the details of the kit, and then obviously I'll share my thoughts on it and what I think about it as well. And like I say, get your thoughts in the chat as well. What do you make of this kit? I would love to hear from you in the comments there. But yeah, like I say, obviously, you know, I love how they've kind of put the B team players at the forefront of this kit launch, and you know, showing that you know, obviously Ben Jackson, Kean Harrett, and Academy Player of the Year there as well, Tom Iapenda, who certainly has a big future ahead of him. But yeah, obviously, it's the idea is obviously to look towards our own bright future by asking obviously some of our own promising youngsters to and B team players to be at the forefront of this kit launch. Obviously, Pat Jones as well was in the picture as well, which I don't think I've got the picture for that. Maybe I have on the next one, but yeah. So yeah, obviously the shirt is obviously a light acid line. Obviously features details around the neck, collar, and the Umbro double diamond. And obviously, just gonna have a look at this as well, which sits alongside our woven embroidered crest as well. Like I say, here we are, the iconic 3 stars at the back of the neck. Obviously, follow through from the home kit. With obviously the first star being black to signify the first of the championship wins, whilst the other 2 coloured white. The stars continue to be prominent throughout the design, within the pattern of the shirt itself, with subtle colour hints of black on white fed into the taping of the sleeves and collar respectively. Now we're just gonna, there we are, look, there's Pat Jones, so we have got a picture of Pat there. So you know, this kit is certainly an interesting one. I think I'm gonna have to see it in person to make a full judgment of it, but I can only make judgments on pictures at the moment. Obviously, the away design, the away shirt design details. Obviously, it's kind of it kind of stops sweating. It's kind of the technology that's been improved in this shirt. Obviously, helping not to sweat as much in a shirt is always useful. So that the technology is there for that. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to go look at the details there. Just a bit of a close up now of obviously the little details there with the little designs, the stars in the in the kit as well. And yeah, so we're going to get into the comments, and I'm going to share my thoughts in a moment. When you look at it, it just makes me think of the fruits like green apples or something. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but there's just something about it what makes me feel questionable. I mean, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. There's, it's hard to make a decision, isn't it? I think I'm gonna have to see it in person, like I said, to see what I feel. I think it's decent, but I wish it had some more black on it. Sam says, welcome in, Sam, by the way. Thank you for coming in. I've seen you on the channel before, so welcome, and thank you for dropping in. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, maybe you could have done a bit of a colour in there. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting one, isn't it? Joseph likes the patterns. Are they stars? I actually like the colour. It gives me the home kit a 9/10. I give the home kit a 9 out of 10 rating, and this one 8 out of 10. I mean, yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, nice ratings there for the shirts. Yeah, they are stars. There's stars in the shirt for this one as well. So yeah, they are stars, and yeah, they are nice patterns, aren't they? I suppose. But for me, I'm not particularly fond of this colour, if I'm honest. I mean, it could be a kit that grows on me, maybe. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the colour. I think they could have made the kit, made a kit that was red and black. I would have liked the red and black combination with the stripes as the away kit, really. and maybe put this one as our third kit maybe. But so I'm on the fence with it still. I don't know what to think of it really. I think I'm not saying I absolutely hate it because I don't, but I'm not gonna say it looks, at the moment for me. It may grow on me, like I said, but I don't think it's really a kit that maybe I like. But from saying that though, because you remember in the 16-17 season, the away shirt in the 16-17 season is very similar in a way. Okay, it's not like, but it is kind of very. That was the Premier League one actually, wasn't it? I've got the wrong one up actually. Remember the 16-17 one where it was black and green, wasn't it? And in fact, it was this one. This one, yeah, that Aaron Mooys wearing. Yeah. So, and I did buy this one. So, I don't mind it, but I don't really like it either. So, like I say, if I see it in person and I actually like it, then that's fair enough. But for me, I'm not too sure. To put it, I'm not actually giving too much away at the moment, but I'm kind of sharing that it's. At first glance, I wasn't in love with it when I first saw it. Put it that way. But yeah, it's okay. But I'm going to have a look at it in person anyway at some point. I don't know when, but I'll have a look at it in person in the future and see if my opinion changes. But this is kind of what it looks like. Now we have got a lot of comment. I need to go back to the comments because I've missed a few. So hang on a minute. But yeah, that is the away kit for this season then. So my rating for this shirt is 5 out of 10. Oh, so you think you are really 50-50, aren't you, Aidan? I think you're a bit like me at the moment, sitting on the fence a bit and not sure what to think of it. But yeah, for me, I think it's probably going to be a 5 out of 10 as well. That could soon change when I see it, of course, because we just have to see. It looks more like a third kit in my opinion, but it's nice. I mean, it does, doesn't it? It does look like a third kit, and maybe I wouldn't have minded it if it was the third kit, and we would have gone for another design for the away kit. But yeah, I honestly don't know. Have you seen Barnsley home kit? I have. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Enough said about that, and you think it's horrible as I can tell. Just think last time we wore green in the Champions we got promoted. I mean, we did it. And I mean, thank you for reminding, of course. Is this going to be a lucky omen for us? And if it is a lucky omen for us, then maybe I shouldn't be so skeptical of this shirt. Then maybe I should just say it's nice. But yeah, you're very right there. You're very right. So who knows? Who knows what happens this season? Then Terry Dart says we had the orange one a few seasons back that looked really vibrant on the pics, but it was much more subtle in real life. I think this could be the same. I mean, I've actually spoken to somebody that's actually bought the shirt today, and he has said that this kit is actually nicer. This kit is certainly not. He said that this kit's nicer than what he thought it was going to be because the pictures don't do it justice. So I think it's going to be one that we're going to have to judge when we've all seen it, I think, maybe in person. I haven't had a chance to go down yet to see it, but I will probably do so. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's one of the, it is really vibrant in the pictures, but it could be, like I said, I've always said pictures sometimes never do a kit justice, really, sometimes, does it? And yeah, maybe that's the case with this one. But at the moment, I can only judge from pictures. We had the orange one a few seasons back, that looked really vibrant on the pitch, but it was much more. Yeah. My rating is -5 out of 10. I think it's horrid, to be honest. Ramsey, you're very brutal. I mean, I think if we all see it in person, like I said, I think maybe it might be not as bad as we maybe think. But yeah, I can't say I'm a massive fan of it, like I say. But that is the kit we will be wearing in this season coming up. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I mean, my rating for the kit, yeah, I'd probably say a 5. I don't want to be too critical of it when I haven't seen it. But I am a bit 50-50 with it. I think it's different. It is different. I do like it in that regard, but I don't know. I just think it's a horrible colour, really. It's still not worse than that Barnes one, man. I mean, whoever made that Barnes one, you want sacking. I mean, yeah, it's horrid, isn't it, that one? So yeah, so it's one of those. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna move on now to the next topic of conversation in this stream, which is gonna be just hang on one moment. I don't know what's happening here. So yeah, I haven't talked about this, and I do want to bring it up. Obviously, there is going to be changes to the rules in the EFL this season. I'm sure everybody's seen. Now, we will be able to select from 9 substitutes this season, and it says following a discussion by EFL clubs regarding the number of substitutes named in matchday squads, Championship clubs have opted to use 5 substitutions from 9 named in the 23-24 season. So you can actually make 5 substitutions. That's an increase from the 7 that were named on the bench in last season. The increase in the size of matchday squads is one of the few rules for the new season as well. So that's something I'll check. The EFL will introduce a multi-ball system in all of its competitions for the season. Match balls were placed on cones in designated areas at pitch side to help increase the time of the ball being in play. So I suppose that is a very good thing to be introduced for sure, because it does get the game flowing a lot quicker. And yeah, it just makes it better, doesn't it? Like I say, it says, meanwhile, clubs will no longer be permitted to use towels or other articles, including items obtained from spectators, to dry footballs during matches. We've had a few shenanigans over the years, as many people will know, that's gone to town matches, obviously, with towels, obviously. I can't remember who it was last season, but some team brought a towel with them last season. Sure, someone will remind me of who it was, but yeah, they used to have towels around the pitch, and yeah. So again, I do like that. I do like the idea of 9 substitutes being allowed on the pitch, on the bench. Sorry, it allows us to put some youth in there, a bit more youth. Obviously, we've always had youth on the bench, but I mean maybe a few more opportunities for other players, and also then we can make more. We obviously can make substitutions, 5 substitutions. So that is all. It's all very positive. So the EFL have done something useful for once to make things better for this season. But yeah, I want to touch upon that as well. But yeah, I mean, transfers. I mean, we haven't really got a lot to talk about still, have we, at the moment? I mean, it really is kind of a moment in time where we've obviously had the links. Obviously, Karoma still hasn't signed a deal. So obviously, there's been rumours that he may be looking to either go to Millwall or Plymouth. Don't know what's happening with that at the moment. Do we still on the rumours? Then obviously Junior Hoylett. I mean, obviously officially free agents contracts run out today. So will we see? You know, for me, we need to be getting some because we still haven't made a signing yet. And you know, for me, I know it's only the 1st of July tomorrow, but you know, we need to start getting some players in over the next week or so for me, because yeah, you know, you don't want to be leaving it too late to get in players, because they need to have as much of a pre-season as they can with us, so they can settle in. Another name that I've seen dotted around, I don't know where I saw it now, but obviously Sean Morrison, obviously centre half, but we know obviously was at the club before. Neil Warnock obviously worked with Sean Morrison as well, so for me, obviously it does provide that depth in the centre back area, but we do need to be looking at a striker first. Like I said, somebody in the midfield, a bit creative in the midfield, and I will probably say we need strengthening in right back. I think I said that in the previous streams. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the signings we need to make, to be honest with you. But we still haven't got a lot to talk about, have we, really, in terms of transfer? I mean, hopefully it does get, you know, we know that we will be making some signings. It's just taking some time, obviously, to get them done. And if we, you know, like I say, if we can get, you know, some players in, then we can start to look forward a bit. But I think we haven't got a bad squad, have we? I just feel like we need a few additions, and then we'll be all right. But on the whole, we've got some really bright youngsters coming through, as we know, and those youngsters that was on playing quite a bit last season, well, have learned a hell of a lot. And I think this season we'll see even more from these players. You know, like Diarra, Jackson, Harrott as well. Maybe we'll see more of Harrott this time. Obviously, we didn't really see much of him. Pat Jones, will Pat Jones get a chance? Obviously, we know how talented he is. We've seen glimpses of that. You know, so there is a lot in the youngsters that we can call upon. But like I say, you know, hopefully we can get some more players in. Obviously, can you believe our first pre-season game as well? Obviously begins on the 10th. So that's, what is it? That's literally like 11 days away, or 12 days away. I can't remember. Yeah, it's not far away. So I presume I don't know about anything else, but I haven't seen any the lads aren't back in training yet, so I'm presuming that'll be on Monday. I think we'll be back on Monday training. Obviously, I've seen Madoni working hard in his one-to-one sessions, which just shows the dedication and commitment he's got to really push on even more this time, which is always nice to see players putting in the hard work before they've even got back to pre-season. It shows what kind of he's very passionate and very driven to succeed in that. Like I say, he's a star for sure. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of got through this quite quickly, actually. But yeah, I mean, any questions, then feel free to post them. Any questions that anybody may have, then I'm happy to answer any. But yeah, it's getting closer, isn't it? It's getting closer, and once pre-season begins, and the season will be here before we know it. And it's, yeah, and like I say, I'm getting quite excited about it, even though it's still, over a month away until we start the season. But I think in the month before the season starts, that's when you start to get a bit, as it gets closer, you get more excited about the season. But yeah, I mean, that's all really on the agenda tonight. Obviously, it's been a short one, this, but I don't want to keep going on if I've already kind of covered everything I need to say. But yeah, I've got a question here. What pre-season games are you going to? Sam says, I will be going to the away game against Stockport on the 22nd of July. And then I'll be going to the home game, obviously, against Heronveen on the 29th, or the 29th, I think it is, isn't it? 29th is Saturday. Yeah, the 29th it is, yeah. So yeah, that's the games I'll be going to. Unfortunately, I'm able to go down to Cornwall on the tour down there in Cornwall and Devon, unfortunately, which would have been lovely to do because it is a beautiful part of the world. But yeah, obviously I can't get down there, so, and plus it's just going to be too expensive. So yeah, obviously that is one of those. But obviously, hopefully the games will be streamed on YouTube. I don't know if the club are doing that, but hopefully they do. And yeah, we'll be able to watch them. And yeah, but yeah, thank you for asking that question. Obviously, it's any pre-season games that I can get to that are local or well, not always local. I mean, obviously, the away games in pre-season anyway. But yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously, it's always nice to see the pre-season games and see how the players are doing, and obviously hopefully get a few. Well, I say a few more. I've probably got all the signatures I need now, but unless we get some new players in. But obviously, it's always nice to have more selfies with the players and things like that. So it does give us a chance to do that as well. But obviously, hopefully, there probably will be some content for the pre-season games on the channel as well. So obviously, I'm being way too previous here about that. But I just want to let you all know that it's pre-season, and then obviously consistently next season. Obviously, I do want to obviously be regular with my content on match days, try and be consistent with that, and yeah, hopefully it's another good year for us. Like I said, I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Honestly, like I say, the subscribers obviously are going up quite nicely, and I appreciate it. Like I say, subscribers are just a number to me, but the fact is that obviously I think I'm at 374 before today. It'd be really good to get to 400 very soon. That would be fantastic, really. But all I want to keep doing is providing the content on this channel and doing my best and improving, and hopefully, everybody enjoys the content and the streams I put out. But yeah, so I probably will change my mind about this away kit, and I'll probably end up buying the away kit because I don't know about anything else, but I'm one of those that I like to wear the shirt that the player's wearing. Because obviously, when they play, I like to wear the same shirt. I don't know why, maybe that's just me being, but obviously, that's just what I've always been really. So, yeah, that's kind of it. But like I say, it has been a short one tonight, but we have kind of covered things quite quickly, and that it is what it is. But obviously, I would like to thank everybody for coming in and commenting and sharing your thoughts, and yeah, just being here. Anybody that's come by and stopped by, I really appreciate that. And obviously, the next stream will obviously be next week at some point. I don't know when yet, but obviously keep an eye on my socials. My socials are going at the bottom here. HGFTV8 on Instagram and Twitter on my social there. Or you can just click the notification bell on this channel and you will get a notification every time I go live. But yeah, also on my TikTok, I have posted a TikTok today for Aaron Mooys, sharing some of his highlights with the club, obviously. And that is available on my TikTok, which is oh gosh, I'm got the sound. I didn't realise. Ryan HTAFC8 on TikTok. So like I say, I'm trying to be consistent with that too. But yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, whatever you get up to. Yeah, obviously we'll see you next time, and take care. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the town, Neil Warnock's Barnyard, and of course, not forgetting a very special man that has just come through the door, of course, in Sir Kevin Nagle, Super Kev. And yeah, but anyway, I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Take care. Goodbye now.